everyone and welcome to our channel. This is Here Fashion Hub and the show must go meta. My name is Maria and today I'm here with Erika Lamperti, co-founder of Elex, an early stage startup developed an augmented reality fashion for digital beings and brands, as well as with Federica Russi, member of the scientific committee and professor of the Master in Sustainable Development in Bicocca University of Milan, as well as a digital designer. So, welcome. Thank you very much for coming, and we could start by a small introduction. I think it would be very nice for our audience to hear about you.
Yeah, Erika, you start.
Hi, Maria. Thanks for inviting us. I'm here with Federica today for presenting us as Ilex and let you know more about what we're doing. Ilex is an innovative startup that was founded in 2020 here in Italy. We have been accelerated from the very beginning by our lab, which is a hub inside NYU dedicated to augmented reality, and by Fashion Technology Accelerator, which is let's say it's an accelerator for fashion tech startups, so the ones that are disrupting the industry with new solutions. With Ilex, we've been also launching at the Consumer Electronics Show last year our product wardrobe.com, which is a marketplace for digital fashion in augmented reality. Ilex is about that. It is about creating virtual clothing and accessories to be worn in virtual spaces. This was something kind of new before the pandemic, and now, unfortunately, but also luckily, has been accelerated a lot by the fact that people are working a lot online and are staying online also for personal reasons, so for their spare time. And in this sense, they are actually being interested in dressing up themselves or their avatar in the virtual spaces. So what we do here is creating the clothing and the accessories for the people, being real-time online in virtual calls or on social media, and that it is in augmented reality, or we create virtual assets to be brought in the metaverse, so in the virtual realms that are being created right now, so that you can have your own avatar wearing something that has been created for that space.
Yes, my name is Federica Russi. Thank you very much for inviting me in this interview. And I have been a business consultant for more than 30 years, both in digital transformation and corporate governance and sustainability. And being so passionate in technologies, I decided to start also a new experience and to learn and to become a digital fashion designer. So this is why I am so interested in what's going on in the metaverse and in leveraging more and more the new technologies which are appearing and bettering more and more. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you very much for the small introduction. Now I think our audience is more familiar with your background, so we can directly go to the discussion of our today's topic. And basically, I would like to talk about digital transformation in fashion, metaverse, as we've already said these words, right? Metaverse, 3D, fashion, what is happening? As I see, after the pandemic, especially like Erika also said, it was strange to think about something happening in the digital space. And now we are like getting more and more brands, more and more professionals entering this sphere. So what are the main transformations you are experiencing as fashion professionals, entrepreneurs in this sphere?
Yeah, let me start speaking about the context, and then Erika can go further on really what's going on in digital fashion. As Erika anticipated, it's true that some of the phenomena which we are experiencing now were were starting also before the pandemic. So we were assisting already to a huge digital transformation. We remember how already artificial intelligence, machine learning, and blockchains were revolutioning manufacturing. In Italy, we called it Industria 4.0, Industry 4.0. And the use of social media and video games was already widespread and increasing. And the call for fashion industry sustainability had already started, being the fashion industry accused of being one of the most polluting and major impacting industry, both on the environment and on worker safety. But of course, fortunately now things are taking a turn for the better from the health point of view, and we can note how the pandemic has accelerated this phenomena. Of course, as accelerated digital adoption, as already mentioned Erika, and people were pushed to platforms and are still pushed to platforms in search of companionship and entertainment. So we assisted to an increasing number of users. So what has increased is the number of users and the hours spent online, which has really highly increased, and still it's at a lower rate, but still it's increasing. And people, of course, are online both for work and social life. So from video calls to social media, video games, and the video games are increasingly becoming an extension of the real world and a mean to socialize. So it's not just game. And as a consequence of this, more and more users care about their digital appearance as much as they care for their physical one, and express also a need of a unique identity for social recognition. And this means that there is a growing need to personalize products and to buy, or even, as we shall see, co-create limited edition products. Of course, this is especially true for the younger generation. So the Generation Z, the born around 2000, and the Generation Alpha, the born after 2010. These generations are expected to reach in a short time the 60% of the market, of the luxury market. But it's also because of the use that was done during the pandemic, it will be more and more common also for other generations using these channels. Also, digital adoption during the pandemic was also due to the need to buy online, and this pushed also the skeptical people to buy, and so this is also another important factor for the virtual fashion market. And all this, it's also associated with a tendency which is called gamification. So the tendency to make online activities playful, fun, through interactive and deeply engaging experience and immersive technologies. And this explains, as we shall see later, the success of the metaverse. Of course, the expectations of consumers and authority about fashion's industry sustainability have risen also due to of course, to the risk of climate change being more and more aware. And finally, and also a little bit connected to this, we assist to a call to make fashion more democratic from many point of view. So by enabling customers to buy, compose, personalize garments at more accessible price. So making luxury accessible to all. making fashion events open to everybody. In the Central and recent Metaverse Fashion Week, there was a big announcement. Everyone is a VIP in the Metaverse. It's a very important person in the Metaverse. So everybody could assist to catwalk and events. And also it's the call for democracy. It's also to enable fashion designers from all countries to join the fashion community. So giving them the tool, which are digital, of course, to bring their ideas to life, and a network that promotes, distributes, and sells their works. So we are assisting to the creation of a new creative economy with its own cryptocurrencies, structures, marketplace, and it's what is called decentralization, decentralized fashion, which is allowed by technologies of blockchains, NFTs, cryptos. I don't know if Erika, you want to delve deep into this concept.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. As Federica was saying, we are assisting to something totally new. That's why also it's going to be called Web3, which is the name that has been given to this idea of a new kind of internet service that it's built over decentralized blockchains. What's happening is that also these metaverse and the virtual worlds that we are stepping into are being built over blockchain. As you might all know by now, it is a system in which a record of transactions is made in a cryptocurrency, typically Bitcoin, but not only Bitcoin, and are maintained across several computers that are linked in a peer-to-peer network. Blockchain allows secure transactions, allows traceability, and this is through cryptocurrencies, which are digital currencies in which transactions are verified and records are maintained by a decentralized system that uses cryptography rather than a centralized authority as banks. So this is pretty much the context in which the metaverse is being built, and since it's something that it is revolutionizing everything, and in our specific case, the retail industry, that's why we have this sensation that it's not a bubble, it's not something that happens now because it's a trend, but it is a disrupting thing that it's about to revolutionize for good the industry and put people online alongside offline. So we will soon have these two identities, which we are thinking, are they going to be different or are they going to be the same? I mean, am I going to replicate myself in the virtual space and have my alter ego exactly the same as I am in reality? Or maybe even better, I'm going to explore a new identity online and have my own avatar going around in the virtual spaces in a completely different manner with different, let's say, aspect and attitude, and everything could be completely different, maybe completing myself in a psychological point of view. So it's a very interesting topic, and yeah, there's a lot to say about that. NFTs are a specific thing that we are gonna that we're discussing today, since NFTs are being related a lot to art and fashion. Brands, labels that are experiencing their first let's say opportunities in the metaverse are using NFTs for getting virtual foot traffic in their spaces, or for having a kind of loyalty program with their own customers. NFTs are non-fungible tokens. So let's say it is something that has been, are digital assets that represent real world objects mostly, like art, music, in-game items and videos. These items are being bought and sold online with cryptocurrency and have a unique identity expressed by a code. So you can't mix up the NFTs. If you have one, you own that one. They have actually been around since 2014, but they are gaining notoriety now because they are becoming a very increasingly popular way to buy and sell digital artwork. And being one of a kind, or at least in a very limited run, they are a clever way for having a digital scarcity of a good. So you can, as a brand, launch something on the market as an NFT and create a scarcity effect as if you were launching something in the physical world. This stands in a very stark contrast with the most digital creations, which are almost infinite in their supply. And hypothetically, cutting off the supply should raise the value of a given asset. So, assuming that it is in demand, obviously. So that creates also a secondary market value to these items that are being maybe resold on other platforms. NFTs for brands are a new potential. Are a new potential revenue stream that goes alongside the physical revenues, the physical items revenues. Sorry, and the brands that are experimenting in this direction are in collaboration with many platforms issuing these NFTs. We have many also in the fashion industry specifically, and these platforms are there to drive purchases, to grow loyalty for the brand, and create a certain level of security in the transactions. One brand that comes up to my mind that was one of the first ones issuing an NFT was Balmain. They were issuing this flame dress where the user, in addition to receiving the 3D rendering and the animation to the dress, was also receiving a dress sketch and the ability to port the dress into the fashion gaming app Altava. This is becoming very popular. The user gets the 3D asset, but also the possibility to use it on an avatar somewhere in a game. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I interrupted you. Go on.
Oh, no, I was just thinking another very recent example of this was Nike and CloneX. CloneX is a part of Artifact that has been recently purchased by Nike. Artifact is an NFT studio that is blurring the line in between the digital and the physical through virtual sneakers and collectibles that are one-of-a-kind sneakers, all online or all virtual. And Nike has been announcing that it will release an NFT realized in collaboration with CloneX. And without it even having the product on the market yet, the secondary sale of this existing CloneX NFTs shot through the roof, was crazy high. Yeah, so I mean, these are all demonstrations of the fact that NFTs have intrinsic values different from the perception that they have because of this dynamics.
Sure. Yeah, thank you very much, Erika and Federica, for this introduction. Let's say it was like a small course on all of the digital transformation, not only in fashion, but in general. And well, I would suggest, because when you were speaking, there are some like controversies that arise, and I would just like to discuss with you one controversy that I don't know, sticks in my mind for a week, and it's about Decentraland. I wanted to hear your opinion because I wasn't actually participating because I'm still I'm reading a lot about digital transformation, but I'm still trying to, stay away for now because I'm not that proficient. But I heard there are a lot of controversies regarding Decentraland Fashion Week, Meta Fashion Week that was there. So there are positive and negative reviews. What is your opinion about it?
Okay. I can understand it. Decentraland, first of all, just to make a small introduction, is one of the main metaverse platforms, especially for fashion, and it was the event host. So in Decentraland, there is a fashion district, and so where of course fashion brands can build, can buy and shops and organize events. Specifically, this Metaverse Fashion Weeks, which was going on the last week of March 2022, registered more than 100,000 unique attendees, so quite good success compared to the music festival, which was held in October with 40,000. And the hosts were many big names from the traditional fashion, like Dolce & Gabbana, Etro, Selfridges, Tommy Hilfiger, Tom Taylor, and so on. But also were present some digital fashion pioneers like the Fabricant, Ouroboros, and Resix. And what they organized was a lot of different immersive experiences from catwalk shows, pop-up shops, after parties, so many different events. So, of course, what was shown and what is debated is the technical limitations, which introduced in difficulties in translating sophisticated brand images and real-world fashion into the virtual realm. So we assisted to the fact that what we are now used to see as 3D images, which really are very similar to pictures, to photo, and to real products in this metaverse were of much lower quality because of some technical limitations, which then Erika can comment. And so from this point of view, I can understand the discussion. And also there were some glitches, so sometimes the screen became in black with the codes appearing, and so there was some crashes or limitations, like the fact that when a real location is too crowded, then you are automatically switched to another location. So there are still some limitations, but of course it's just the beginning, and as also the founder of the Fabricant, Terry Murphy, says, the developing is speeding up and will be for sure better next year. Let's speak about the positive effect, the positive the experience. It's for me, and I'm not, of course not a Generation Z. It was very funny, and it was really. I enjoyed this experience. I enjoyed especially the fact that you can enable experiences that could never be possible physically. Let's speak the models who could fly, or the fact that you can wade in a tide pool without getting wet, and Dolce Gabbana Feline models. So it's very. It's creating huge opportunity for creativeness. So it's just a question of waiting a little bit that technology develops further to allow really to see in these metaverse platforms the same high quality images that we are used to experience in video games or in 3D designs. I don't know, what's your opinion, Erika?
Yeah, I actually agree with you on everything. If who goes first doesn't always get it right. That's the thing. So obviously, labels that have been stepping into the metaverse this year have had a lot of technical challenges, and some of those were also being discovered real time. So obviously, for those brands staying in the second row, it's easier because they are now witnessing which mistakes have been made, and they will be able to go with a greater performance next time. But still, what I believe is that those brands that have the courage to go online in the virtual realm, and I greatly respect Etro for doing so, since it's a brand that wasn't really doing this before the Metaverse Fashion Week, and I also respect Dolce and Gabbana for doing that, and the other ones, because they have been experimenting a bit more, but have had trust in the Metaverse too. These guys have been doing something that has been pushing the boundaries of creativity, and have been demonstrating to everybody what can be done. Doesn't really matter how much technically they were able to do so, but they are paving the way to everybody. From my perspective, what the user has in their mind right now is that these brands are the ones pioneering in the industry. So when I think about Gucci, I don't really think about the fact that their collection or their garden in Roblox was bad in quality. I think that they are pioneering and they are experimenting, so they are kind of young, fresh, vibrant. That it is, I think, the real output of this experience, that they want this. They want to have a new kind of relationship with their young customers, with the generation alpha that goes online all the time. And they are successfully doing so because they are perceived as young, and that it is the final goal of this experience. On a technical perspective, what's happening is that most of the processors of computers and iPhones that we have are not really enough for sustaining the whole thing, the virtual experience. So you can experience delays, you can experience blurred images, you can have the whole thing crashing on your browser and you have to reload it from scratch. We also seen some events not loading the music because the music was to be loaded before the entrance of the users. And all of these kind of issues have been coming out with this experience, mostly because not before there wasn't a very big audience online in the same time. So mostly problems are coming when there is a lot of traffic at the same time. So I mean, I'm pretty confident that everything can be resolved with the new tech, with the new phones coming on the market, and the 5G and all the new things that will happen soon. And I strongly believe that for the brands that have been participating to this, there was the good output they wanted with the public.
Okay, I see. So we can say that actually the negative technical part was the result of huge popularity also. The traffic maybe was too big, and there are different reasons for this as well, for all of the glitches, but we can say it is also a negative thing, let's say, because yeah, nobody knew that it would be like this, but I hope that the creators and the collaborators of Decentraland, it's just the beginning, as we said, they're going to improve it. And as they're going to improve it, and like a person who is not really very familiar with how digital fashion works right now, I would just ask you what is needed now, what professionals are needed now on the market, and are we actually ready for this transformation? Do we have enough people who are ready to contribute, or it's a long process still?
Okay. Let me start first with a premise. So far we spoke very much about digital fashion, especially focusing on digital only fashion. But we must also say that digital fashion is not only digital garments. So garments which are which will probably never created physically, but that will exist only for the virtual world, that is video call or social media or video games or these metaverse fashion platforms. It's also very important for the physical fashion too, for the physical garments, because the digital tool and especially 3D design, augmented reality are very important in the physical world, because they 3D design can be used for 3D prototyping and for the digital catalogs and so for viral marketing. And augmented reality, it's used for virtual dressing room, for virtual try-on, for online showrooms, for wholesales, for digital fashion shows. It's also impacting the traditional and the physical fashion industry, not only the digital garment industry. Let's say, first of all, the traditional professions and roles in fashion companies are being removed and redefined. What we expect and what must be is that the way of working of for example, a fashion design must change. So it will not be that a fashion designer designs a new garment and then there is a 3D, maybe nerd designer that produces the 3D designs to be used for the prototypes or for marketing or for the virtual showrooms. Is the fashion designer that has to learn to design directly in 3D, and so all the processes in digital fashion, from designing, manufacturing, selling, marketing, must be changed. They will become, for sure, more efficient, more effective, and more sustainable also, because of course, despite the huge concerns about the environmental impact of digital tools, of digital technologies, due to the fact of energy consumptions and waste management, it's with no doubt true that all the application of all this technology to the traditional and physical fashion will help reduce the environmental impact of the industry, and of course it will bring to enormous time and cost savings. So it's very important that we learn also in physical fashion a new way of working. And of course, new professions are emerging apart from the old one. So there will be augmented reality specialists, virtual reality for retail industry specialists, virtual fashion show designers. So really totally new professions. I don't know what's your experience, Erika, if you want to speak about your experience in leading a company in this field.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah. We are a fully remote company with the team working through chats. We don't even know each other, all of us, in real time, and that's pretty thrilling, because when a project comes in, we discuss it online. We go in video calls, obviously, and in chats, and we coordinate the work in there. Wardrobe.com has been developed this way. We've been launching the website last year in January, and it has been online now for about a year. With that website, we are exploring the augmented reality clothing thing with web AR. So we don't require users to download any kind of application or software. They can wear the clothing directly on the site. So they buy something online, and then they access this space called My Wardrobe, where they can actually wear and store for a later use their virtual clothing, and wear them in videos or pictures. We collaborate with artists and fashion labels for the creation of these items. The brands are reaching us, or we reach out to brands that we believe that they are a good fit for us, and we discuss the things from there. We go through the sketches and we decide which ones are eligible for the virtual spaces. Obviously, we push the labels and the designers to be more creative than they would be in the physical space. So we are not really fans of creating digital twins of the physical items, but to do something which can be maybe doable in the real life. We don't do NFTs for now. We do only AR on Wardrobe, but with B2B services, with companies, we are also working on special projects involving NFTs and 3D assets to be used on their websites. Our team is mostly composed by young guys working a lot with digital files, so mostly with Cloud 3D, with Blender, with the After Effects. They create the files that are compatible with the virtual platforms, and yeah, for labels, the fact that they are digitalizing their assets, it's crucial for accessing many virtual options in a later moment, since when you have digitalized something, then you have the assets for doing whatever you want online mostly. So yeah, that's the big thing that is happening right now.
Okay, amazing to know it, and I'm actually very happy I have you two in my panel on my panel today, because we have like different points of view, from a bit academic one, right, Federica, and a more, let's say, practitioner one, and that's why I will not bother you anymore with my questions. It's just the last one, and I think one of the most important ones, because we are speaking about changes, but how do we adjust? And from your point of view, both, as I already said, practitioners and academic one, are we ready in terms of education? And if we are not ready, how can we be ready? How can we adjust the educational system? Maybe you have some suggestions to our viewers.
I can say that so far I see that the traditional education system in general hasn't yet adjusted their programs. So especially here in Italy, and Italy is unfortunately not the best in class as far as digital transformation is concerned, for sure. Although we must not forget that made in Italy, I mean, Italian fashion industry has very strong excellences in design and high quality craftsmanship, manufactures, material and finishes. It's really what it's well known as worldwide as made in Italy. And maybe what is needed is a cultural change. I mean, it's to understand that all this knowledge and know-how we have in Italy is not necessarily in conflict with digital technologies. Which digital technologies can improve all the processes, and anyhow we can maintain this perfect and high quality craftsmanship. Is not in contrast, and so I think this is a little bit one of the factors why the traditional fashion educational system is not really adapted. Of course, some fashion academies have already included Cloud 3D competencies into their fashion design courses, but I must say that is still an exception. So at the moment, to become a specialist in digital fashion, the real alternative is to learn through online tutorials. So there is a plenty of online tutorials, I must say, but of course it's all recorded. You don't interact with any tutor, and what is more, the approach is not systematic. So you have to pick among these huge quantities of tutorials with not really a systematic approach. And if we think that also traditional people who are working in a traditional way sooner or later must learn these new technologies, we must not forget that many of these people are not digital natives. I can say, as being one of these, that of course for not digital natives is less intuitive, the use of digital tools compared to a Gen Z or a Gen Alpha young person. So I think this there is still to do from this point of view. Maybe we can speak therefore about what we have ideated. In cooperation with the Erika Ilex. So we have ideated what could be a good approach to learn these technologies, and we funded ILEX Academy, which is a course to learn how to become a digital fashion designer. So we have ideated what could be a good approach to learn these technologies, and we funded ILEX Academy, which is a course to learn how to become a digital fashion designer. First of all, it's a structured course which include 3D design lessons, both on Clo 3D, which is actually the most credited tools for fashion 3D designs in the world, and Blender, which can help to design more sophisticated objects and backgrounds, which is complementary anyhow to Clo 3D designs. Clo 3D is a very it's also entertaining. It's a complex tool, but it's really funny to work with it, because you can either import 2D designs if you have already the patterns already made, or you can design directly in Clo 3D, and then you can set the sewings, and you have soon you can simulate on an avatar where you have set up all the measures and as according to your size, or according to different size, because you can also adjust the size, and then you can simulate how this garment fits to the avatars, and how it moves, and of course by taking into considerations all the physical properties of the materials. And of course you can be very creative and use also materials that you could never use in real life, in the physical world, and see how it simulates. And there is a very sophisticated photo shooting features, so you can really do photo shooting, adjusting the lights in different and also fantastic backgrounds. And in these fantastic backgrounds, you can also animate your avatars and create a very, very creative fashion show. And also you can personalize your avatars, or you can import avatars from other softwares. And so really there is a huge opportunity for creativeness, and I really love it. And in this course we will also use teach how to use simple AR tools, the one which are free and are owned. Spark AR, it's owned by Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, and or Lens Studio, which is applicable to Snapchat, so that the students can also learn how to create simple augmented reality effects. And also what we thought it would be really of value for the students is, and so we have included into this course, it's it's an orientation, some orientation sessions which are held by professionals working in the most advanced context of digital fashion, so that really the students can understand what's going on, what are the new professions, what are the new also business opportunities, because we must not forget that all this change is creating also new business opportunity. And so there is plenty of opportunities to use creativeness also into creating new business models. So it's and this is very important, also very important for us. The lessons will be blended, so which we think it's the most efficient and effective. So a mix of online tutorials, some homeworks, and live interactive lessons. So it's very important to maintain the mix between online tutorials, because then you can be flexible, you can do when you want, you can go rewind and repeat it as many times as you want. Then you do, you apply, and then you have interactive lessons with the teacher, so that he can answer to the questions and resolve all the problems that for sure they will happen by using these technologies, and so solve the deadlocks. And and also what is very important is that we want to create really professions which can be used in digital fashion. So from starting from the beginning, from the first lessons, the students should realize a project of real use in digital fashion, and so he will work on this project along all the course.
Okay. Amazing. Erika, do you have something to add?
I think she covered it all, and yeah, we've been discussing this many times. It is an exciting experience, that this one with the academy. We would really like to help creatives to find their own way in this industry with the new tools, and also specifically help fashion labels in Italy to have their own teams of competitive teams of professionals working with these softwares, and that is also why we're also producing the course in Italian, so that it is easier for professionals working in Italy to access these tools and get experience with them.
Amazing. I see. So it is, I think it's a groundbreaking thing what you're doing, because as Federica told, Italy is a bit still traditional, let's say. And it's an amazing also opportunity for Italian professionals to go in the world, to be international, let's say, because I think sooner or later we are all going to be united in the metaverse and in the digital worlds. So. And I'll make sure to share it with our listeners. If you could share with me the link, I will just put it under our video. And that was an amazing talk. I'm a bit. I have a lot of things to think about and to digest. But what I'm sure is that the change has come, and we shouldn't push it away in both spheres, in education, in professional sphere, and we should all start adapting. And thank you for making a change and for accelerating this process. It was a very insightful talk, and I hope to see you later. And I hope our listeners will also very astonished by the things you said. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting us. It was really interesting and to speak with you, and I hope we added some value to the knowledge of digital fashion opportunities.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for getting for being interested in this topic and for bringing light and attention to it.